Boa noite, sejam todos muito bem-vindos à meditação gratuita da Sahaja Yoga. Eu sou a Vânia, de Cuiabá, Mato Grosso, e hoje estou aqui para meditarmos juntos. Vamos iniciar, como de costume, nos preparando para a meditação. Sentados, pés firmes na Mãe Terra, as mãos descansando no colo com as palmas para cima e no coração o puro desejo de ascender espiritualmente. Vamos fazer o exercício da respiração. Inspira, calma e profundamente, segura o ar nos pulmões o tanto que der, solta devagar, mantendo os pulmões vazios por alguns instantes. Veio o pensamento? Diga não. Agora não. Ou então, eu perdoo. Vamos lá? Podemos coletivamente elevarmos as nossas kundalines e nos colocarmos sob bandhas de proteção. Namastê. O Deus que habita em mim saúda o Deus que habita em você. Vamos colocar a nossa mão direita voltada para a Mãe Terra, mão esquerda em direção a Shri Mataji. Um mantra ao destruidor de todos os obstáculos, Shri Ganesha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adishati Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Podemos agora colocar nossa mão direita em direção à nossa água do banho de pés. Vamos dar 7 bandhas, 7 voltas no sentido horário e pedir: Shri Samudra Devata, por favor, potencializa o elemento água e o elemento terra aqui como sal, para que eles possam purificar o nosso corpo sutil. Vamos mergulhar os nossos pés. Atenção plena no Sahasrara, que significa a consciência sem pensamentos. Portanto, veio o pensamento, diga não, agora não.
Om Namaste Ganapataye Mamiva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Mamiva Kevalam Tartasi Mamiva Kevalam Tartasi Mamiva Kevalam Artasi Mamiva Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Atmasi Nityam Vritam Vashmi Satyam Vashmi Avadvavam Avadaktaram Avashrotaram Avadataram Avadataram Avanucharam Avashishyam Avapashchatat Avapurastat Avotaratat Avadakshinatat Avachalvatat Avadaratat Sarvato Mam Pahi Pahi Samantat Tvam Vanmayas Tvam Chinmayas Tvam Arandamayas Tvam Brahmamayas Tvam Satchit Ananda Dityosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tato Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Tatastishtati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvahi Layameshyati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvahi Pratyeti Tvam Bhumi Rapo Nalo Nilo Nava Tvam Chatvari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatrayatita Tvam Shakti Trayatmaka Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnus Tvam Rudras Tvam Indras Tvam Agnis Tvam Vayus Tvam Suryas Tvam Chandramas Tvam Brahma Bhurvasvaram Ganadim Purvamusharya Varnanim Taranantaram Anushvara Paratara Ardendulasitam Tarena Ridham Etatava Manushvarupam Kakara Purvarupam Akaro Madhyama Rupam Anushvara Chantya Rupam Indurutara Rupam Nada Sandanam Sanita Sandhi Saisha Ganesha Vidya Janakarishi Nishrit Gayatri Chanda Ganapatir Devata Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Danti Prachodayat Ekadantam Chaturhasam Asham Ankusha Darinam Radam Chavaranam Astairviranam Mushakadvajam Raktam Lambodaram Shurvakarnakam Rakta Vasasam Rakta Gandhanu Liktangam Rakta Pushpai Supoditam Bhaktanu Kampinam Devam Jagat Karanam Vachutam Avirbhutam Shashtishyadau Prakrite Purushat Param Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam Sa Yogi Yoginam Vara Namo Vratapataye Namo Ganapataye Nama Pramatapataye Namaste Sulambodara Yaikadantaya Vignanashine Shiva Sutaya Shri Varamurtaye Namo Namah Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah.
Vamos manter uns instantes plena consciência sem pensamentos, para absorver todas as vibrações deste poderoso hino a Shri Ganesha. Nós podemos finalizar o nosso banho de pés, enxaguar, secar os pés, descartar a nossa água, lavar a bacia, lavar a mão e voltarmos para a continuidade da nossa meditação. Podemos massagear o nosso Sahasrara, sempre no sentido horário. Mantra Shri Sadashiva. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sadashiva Sakshat Shri Adishati Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Mãe Kundalini, por favor, estabiliza no alto do meu Sahasrara. estabelece em mim a consciência sem pensamentos, a consciência sem dúvidas. Podemos baixar a nossa mão. Vamos assistir um trecho de uma palestra de Shri Mataji proferida em Londres em 1980 a respeito do que nós esperamos como a realização do si.
Today I was telling you about our growth within after self-realization. The germination takes place very easily. The Kundalini rises very easily. Also pierces the fontanelle bone area very easily. That is really, as you call it, Sahaja. It's a tremendous happening. It takes thousands of years for people to get realization. That's also a fact. They had to be born again and again, and very few selected got realization. But today, as I said, the time has come for many flowers to become fruits. So this happening doesn't take much time. It's just split of a second in many people. But about the growth I was talking last time, I've ended up at self-realization. What is self-realization? Is and what do we expect from self-realization? The first thing that happens to you, as you know, when the Kundalini rises, that you start feeling physically better. Your health improves. Though the Kundalini rises from the centermost Nadi called as Brahma Nadi inside the Sushumna, in the central part. And first thing that happens is the physical being, which is helped. That is not the innermost core of every center. The innermost core of every center is the spiritual. But how is it first the physical being is helped? It's very interesting to see. The Kundalini rises through many centers, passes through Agya, pierces through fontanelle, and becomes one with the all-pervading power. So first thing that receives the information is the seat of Sadashiva, the seat of your Atma, your spirit, on top of your head. But the spirit is in your heart. So the first awakening takes place, or enlightenment takes place, in your brain. This is a very important point to be seen. In your brain resides the conscious mind. That means the present. And when it is enlightened, that means your awareness is enlightened. You get enlightenment in your awareness, in your attention. as I told you last time, that attention is enlightened first. So through your attention, you can find out what is the matter with other persons. You can find out what centers are catching, what your centers are catching. So on the physical level, you know what's happening. That's this, we should say, the present. We feel our gross being enlightened. We can feel them on our fingers. But when the Kundalini is rising in your being, she goes straight on to the fontanelle bone area. Of course, if there is a hurdle or anything, then she stops and tries to indicate. At that time, if she is not successful, for example, you have got a liver problem, then she will come and throb at liver problem, informing you that there's something wrong with the liver. That's why a Sahaja Yogi has to give vibrations from outside. When the Kundalini rises above, the Agya, she goes up to this fontanelle and pierces. But when she cannot go beyond Agya, she spreads out here. She can spread out here also. And then she starts trickling down. The grace on the, or you can say she starts relaxing this area, which is called as Murdha. And that's how she makes more space in the Agya. And this relaxation works out the outer side of the physical being. Also, when she pierces through in anyone who has a simpler personality, who is not so complicated, first thing that happens is that the grace starts falling through from the sides. And the grace starts falling into the Ida and Pingala. And then she comes down, by which she supplies Ida and Pingala, the grace, not the Kundalini. You should not confuse these two things. Because of her piercing, there's an opening made and the grace starts coming down. And she, I should say the grace itself, feeds all the centers from outside. So the physical being improves. The second one, I'm now going from outside inside, is. Second one is the mental being. Now the mental being relates to our awareness as well. Also to our sense of understanding, intellect and all those things. When the grace starts flowing more and more within us, then our mental being gets enlightened. When the mental being gets enlightened, then you start feeling centers of other persons. Some people, just get cured. They don't feel any vibrations, nothing, just they feel cured. They get cured of cancer, this, that, all sorts of things. But they do not get vibrations, they do not get a feeling, they cannot make out whether it is this chakra or that chakra. They do not feel anything. So the first thing that would happen to anyone is the physical gift. Physical being improves. That's the grace of God. Because if you are not well, if you have some pains and some troubles and some diseases, how are you going to pay attention to God and Spirit? That's very important. But before it comes to the mental self, something else happens also. That when the Kundalini pierces, the falling of grace first comes down to the lower centers starting from Nabi downwards. And Nabi is a great sucker. Nabi starts sucking the vibrations, or you can say the grace. And Nabi starts getting awakened, first of all. From Nabi rises the Swadhisthana chakra, which goes round and round, which is connected with Nabi. So it flows to Swadhisthana. And then Swadhisthana also starts working out itself. Swadhisthana sucks in as much as possible and works out all the centers, all the organs which are supplied by it. But Nabi, when it receives surplus grace, then it starts opening. And its opening helps us in very gross material life also. You are helped materially. Supposing if you are materially absolutely hopeless, then you are not going to pay attention to God also. So it's the responsibility of God to first give you little material well-being. Like I received a letter and also in the tape, they are mentioned about somebody who wanted to come to India from Australia. She got a realization, she felt very much better. And she wanted to come to Australia, to India. But she had no money to come. And that desire was there. Because of that desire in her, she may not have put full attention to her spirit. And that's how our material desires get satisfied. And her daughter discovered she had a bracelet, many bracelets and things she had, and she went to a jumble sale for selling them for some sort of a program they had for children. And they discovered that one of the bracelets that she had, which she thought to be a junk, was of gold. Surprisingly. And she sold it for $1,500. She was going to sell it for 20 cents. And that was exactly the amount needed for their travel, for both of them. Now one would say that how it works out. It is miraculous. That's all I can say, because the machinery is such. The pouring of the grace within you informs the Lakshmi principle in the Nabi. Nabi, just show them where it is. Somebody has to get up and show. Douglas or someone. Douglas, come on. This is the one. And this has the deity of Lakshmi. She is the deity of your well-being. And this is what Krishna has said, Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. When the yoga takes place, means when the Kundalini pierces through fontanelle bone area, I look after your well-being. How does he look after? Through Lakshmi. Now this is a universal deity. She is present in human beings, and also she is present in material things. It is such a fantastic thing that you cannot explain these things on human level. Really, it is difficult. Only thing you can see for yourself how it works out. It's so tremendous. Like if you have to explain about human civilization to an ant, it's going to be difficult. In the same way it is. It's so difficult, you see. And human beings are so proud of their rationality. And I find it impossible how to explain, but it does work that way. You can only see the working of it. But if you are proud of your rationality, you go ahead with it. What can you do? But you just see for yourself how it works. So the second layer that really is improved is your material being. So many people have been helped who are here materially. The well-being has come. Actual well-being, apart from satisfaction. But as I said, it does not cross the limit, like you do not become Mr. Ford. Because that's some sort of a behavior which is asahaja. To be so rich, I mean, it's ridiculous, vulgar. You become better than what you are, but not the best. Because you have to be in the center at a satisfied point. And everybody has to enjoy you. And you have to enjoy everybody. But supposing if you are in dire necessities and problematic things, then you cannot pay attention to God. And that's what He understands, that you cannot. If you have physical problem, you see, if you have cancer, how can you say that you pay attention to your spirit when you have cancer? I mean, such a body. After all, if this whole house is going to collapse, you cannot meditate here. So first the physical stability is established, and second is the material one. Now there are many factors which work out material stability automatically. First of them is that once you find your spirit, you just automatically give up your habits. Most of these habits come from your Nabi, because from Nabi chakra you get your seeking.
Sem racionalizar as palavras de Shri Mataji, vamos nos manter em consciência sem pensamentos.
Tvameva sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunaatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namo Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrar Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah
Obrigada, Shri Mataji, pela realização do si, pelas transformações em nossas vidas. Obrigada pelo conhecimento puro e verdadeiro da Sahaja Yoga. Obrigada novamente e novamente. Nós podemos coletivamente elevar as nossas kundalines e nos colocarmos sob bandhas de proteção. Tenham todos um ótimo final de semana. Muito obrigada pela companhia. e vamos meditar todos os dias, de manhã e à noite. 5 a 10 minutos são suficientes para que possamos manter o foco no aqui e agora e cada vez mais ir nutrindo o nosso ser interior com as bênçãos da Mãe Kundalini. Jai Shri Mata.